My name is Linda Scheele, and I am going to talk to you today about health and wellness. Okay? Now, health isn't just physically fit or free of disease. It's about a balance in your body and your mind and your emotions. Now, when you're born, you breathe through your nose. All babies breathe through their nose until they're 3 to 6 months old. Unless their nose is clogged and they have to breathe and they'll cry, and then you'll see them catching their breath. I want to do a little exercise with you to start off. Okay? So if you would do me a favor, close your eyes, and I'm going to time you for 30 seconds. I want you to just count your breaths, whatever your normal breath is. So close your eyes and count your breaths. Open your eyes. Now I want you to take that number and double it. So if you had 6 breaths, it's 12, whatever. Okay? All right. Did anybody have under 12 breaths for a whole thing? How about 16? How about under 20? Over 20? Okay, good. All right. Science says that you should be breathing about 16 times in a minute. Okay? Now, if you breathe over 20, it could be because you're older or you're younger. Children breathe faster. It's really, really important the amount of times that you breathe in a minute, and I'll tell you why. At the University of Boston Medical School, there was a study done on 5,000 people for 30 years. And what they did is they followed their breathing. So what happened is at the end of that time, they determined that the amount of breaths that you take in a minute determine how long you're going to live and how healthy you'll be. So 16 is really good, right? So I want to teach you how to breathe. All right? So just watch me and then do what I'll tell you what to do. So you're going to breathe through your nose and out your nose. So you're going to take a nice breath slowly through your nose. Your belly comes out. You're going to continue breathing into your chest. Your chest expands a little. And when you exhale, your chest contracts and you pull your belly in. So let's try it, all right? Take a nice slow inhale through your nose. Inhale up into your chest. And now exhale. Pull your belly in. Let's do it one more time. Inhale nice and slowly through your nose. All the way up. And then exhale. Pull that belly in. The amount of times that you breathe is really, really important. So why nostril breathing? Well, you have 4 filters in your nose. You have the mucus, which you all know. You have the hair. The mucus stops bacteria. So if there's colds or flus going around, you're breathing through your nose, chances are you're not going to get that cold. The other one is the hair. It stops the hair particles from going into your lungs. Plus the fact is you have nerve centers that go to your brain. When you breathe out of your right nostril, it activates your left brain. When you breathe out of your left nostril, it activates your right brain. Most people don't realize that you're only breathing out of one nostril at a time, and it switches every couple of hours. If it doesn't switch after 24 hours, there's usually something wrong in your body. What does oxygen do for you? Okay, when you oxygenate your body and you breathe in, the oxygen goes down into your lungs and it goes into your blood and it goes to every cell in your body. You have 37 trillion cells in your body. And you need to oxygenate them all. So when it goes down, it oxygenates it, but it also creates energy. Oxygen turns your food into energy. Come in. So then you have this energy, and if you don't oxygenate all your cells, what happens is waste piles up, and then all of a sudden you age, you get diseases. So oxygenating your cells is really, really important. The deep breathing. Now, I don't expect anybody in here to go home and all of a sudden start breathing through your nose, because that's not going to happen. 85% of the US population breathe through their mouth. But if you did this a few times a day, if you just did it at night before you go to bed, it would relax you. I mean, nose breathing, you can do it on the way to work, you can do it if you're sitting at a desk. Breathe gently through your nose. It's really, really healthy for you. So I'm going to refer to these because I have a lot of information and I don't want to forget anything. So what's the matter with mouth breathing? When you're mouth breathing, as I say, 85% of the United States mouth breathing. What happens is it raises your blood pressure, your heart rate, it worsens asthma, sleep apnea. But the most important thing it does for you is it doesn't oxygenate your heart, your brain, and all your other organs. So it is so important. All 37 trillion cells get oxygenated. Okay. So the deep breathing is really, really important. How does this affect you in your life, right? Well, 85% of every illness in the United States, in the world, is created or has something to do with stress. Stress is a killer. It's really, really bad. And in today's society, you're on Facebook, you're in your computer, you're on your phone, your kid's got an appointment, everything is stressful today. So you are up here in your sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight, all the time. So unhealthy. So I want to do another little exercise for you, right? And this will take about a minute. But what I want you to do is the yoga breathing, and I'm going to explain this to you because I want you to partake, all right? You breathe through your nose into your chest, and when you exhale out your nose and you pull your belly in, okay? And you do it nice and slow. 30 seconds, I want you to breathe through your nose. The second 30 seconds, and I will tell you, I want you to just do your regular breathing, but I want you to think about it. I want you to just be calm and be quiet for 30 seconds, okay? So start, close your eyes and do the yoga breathing. Okay, open your eyes. Now what I just did, and this is probably the first time you've ever done this, so it doesn't necessarily have to be effective right away. But what I did was I took you from your sympathetic nervous system to your parasympathetic nervous system. And what this does for you is if you're angry, you're in a rush, you want to hit somebody cuts you off in a car, all of a sudden you come from a different place if you're calm. And if you do this enough times, you're going to get out of this and go down to this. They're trying to teach this now to first responders because, they're always like this. They have to be. And then when something happens, they take that split second to calm yourself down. So it's really, really healthy to keep your body less stressed. As I say, 85% of every illness, everything in the world is caused by stress. So what does this mean for you in your workplace? Less stress, you're more productive, you have less sick days, you have a better immune system, you're happier, you're calmer, better customer service. That's always important in your environment. But there's so many things that it's really, really good for. So now I want to move into movement, all right? I'm talking about stretching and bending. Almost every medical journal you pick up today, every study, Harvard, Stanford, it doesn't make any difference, talks about what is the best medicine there is on the market today, bar none the best thing you can do. It's exercise. That's what it is. Everybody will say that. People have known that for years, but all of a sudden the science community has decided it's not a pill. It's more important that you exercise. There was a study done at Johns Hopkins, and there's a professor there who is in charge of, I call it the brain, because I don't know what the long term is, cerebral something, but anyway, studies brains. And research has found that there is very little difference between an 18-year-old brain and a 100-year-old brain. Interesting. If you use it. But there's another study done at the University of Pittsburgh, their research department, that talks about 45 recreational athletes aged 40 to 81. They tested them for lean muscle mass. They all work out 4 or 5 times a week. There was absolutely no difference between a 40-year-old and an 81-year-old on their lean muscle mass. In fact, some of the people had leaner muscle mass, the older ones. So your body doesn't have to fall apart. It falls apart because we misuse it. It's what we do to our body. It's built to last forever. So how you take care of your body is extremely important. There is a really quirky YouTube video that you ought to check this out. And the guy's name is Dr. Scheele, and he works with cadavers. Okay, so there's I guess it's somebody's leg, and he peels away the top layer of muscle, and there's all this slime, and he goes like this, and it melts away. And he does it again, and it melts away. What this is your fascia. Now, for those of you that don't know what fascia is, it's all the connective tissue that you have in your body, okay? Everything is connected with fascia. All of your organs, all of your bones, your joints, your ligaments, everything is connected with fascia. So the point of this whole video is, if you don't move, your fascia builds up, and when your fascia builds up, it gets hard. So when you're a kid, you can bend over, touch your toes, twist, do anything. But the more sedentary you are, whether you're sitting at a desk, you're watching TV, and you're not moving, it builds up and gets hard. And that's what happens when all of a sudden you can't go like this, or you can't bend down and touch your toes. It's all the fascia. Yes, your muscles may get tight, but your muscles are like elastic bands. They bend, not your fascia. Once that builds up, you can reverse it. Anybody can reverse it. Even if you're up here and you just go like this, just keep going. And eventually, you go all the way down. It takes time, but you can reverse it. He suggested when you get up in the morning before you get out of bed, you just lay there and you twist, you move, everything. And then when you got out of bed, no aches and pains. I do it every morning. It's amazing. As soon as I saw this video, I thought, well, this is very cool. So I do it. But it's really, really interesting. So I want you to do me a favor and stand up for a moment. Put your feet about hip distance apart and your hands down by your sides. Have your shoulders. There you go, good. Okay, tuck that pelvis in just a little bit. All right. Now this is correct posture. So what's the difference between standing like this or like this? Okay, you get tired, you get lazy, you're sitting at a desk all day. Well, the difference is, all of a sudden, your respiratory system, your digestive, your elimination, they're all compromised. Not only that, all your lower extremities have stress on them when you're like this. When you stand up and you have an even balance, you don't have any stress on your ligaments and your bones and your joints. So it's really, really important. Plus the fact, when you stand up like that, doesn't that feel much better than like this? You're all doing it great, so obviously you do stand well with a little athletics here, right? But it is so important to do that. So keep standing up. Go, you can sit down now. Okay, so at work, what did you tell me you do?
Golf course superintendent.
Okay, so you're all active. So I'm not going to sit in a chair and show you what to do. I don't have to. Most of you, I'm sure, know how to keep yourself in shape because you all look like you are in shape. But stay that way because, you know, you get older. I also teach aging in reverse. I have another company. And when you get older, you tend to think that certain things you can't do anymore. That's not true. So age is relative. You don't have to do that. So now I want to talk to you a little bit about how to rest. Now you go, all of you, right? Your body needs to rest. It absolutely has got to rest. And that means Your bones, your joints, your heart, every part of your skin, everything needs to rest. So how do you do this? Well, sleep, obviously, that's the obvious thing. You should get a certain amount of sleep, but sleep always isn't restful, because sometimes you're dreaming and you're tossing and you're turning and you really don't feel rested. Has anybody in here ever done any meditation or mindfulness? Okay, good. Because, you know, for those of you that haven't done meditation, it's not some little thing, okay? This is really, really easy to do. And if it's nothing more than just being quiet for 5 minutes, counting backwards, listening to nice music. There's so many guided meditations, YouTube, you can listen. Do you know, a half hour of meditation is worth 4 hours of sleep? And believe me, it is. Because I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and thought, oh God, I'm never going to go back to sleep, and I meditate, and I can go all the next day. So it's really, really important that you take 5 minutes in the morning and meditate. Take a minute and breathe. The other thing is mindfulness. And mindfulness is a form of meditation, but it's actually living in the present. In other words, how many times do you go to work, you drive a car, and you don't even remember driving? Don't remember what you saw, because your mind's on something you should have done yesterday, you got to do for tomorrow. You don't live in the present. This is your life. This is it. I don't know if anybody's ever read the book by Eckhart Tolle. It was a very, very powerful book called The Power of Now. Because what happened yesterday is gone. Tomorrow isn't here. And it's not that you don't plan things. I'm not saying that. But you have 70,000 thoughts a day go into your brain or into your mind. Okay? 70,000. And they're usually the same thoughts that were there yesterday. They just come like this all the time. The way to rest your body is to rest your spine. That's where your nervous center is. That's where it sends all those things. So in order for you to rest, you just have to be quiet. Count backwards. Listen to your breathing. Take a walk. Look at the stars. Enjoy what you eat. Do you eat and never really taste what you're eating? You just eat because you eat. When you're talking to somebody, look at them and listen to them. You know, this is it. That's all you got. This is your life. Now, I want to do something, and I hope you will join me in this, but I want you to close your eyes. And I'm just going to read something to you, and all I want you to do is think about what I'm saying, okay? I just want you to imagine the ringing of a church bell. Children laughing. The roar of an ocean wave crashing against the shore. Imagine the feel of a fine cashmere sweater. The softness of a baby's skin. Drops of rain falling on your face during a summer shower. Imagine a sunset over the ocean. A fireworks display. The face of a loved one. Biting into a luscious strawberry. A spoonful of rich chocolate ice cream. The smell of the earth after a spring rain. The fragrance of blooming lilacs. And the aroma of a baby. And open your eyes. You feel a little more relaxed. Just kidding. It's nice. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you take some of these tips back with you. The breathing is so easy. Just a couple of times a day, if you do that, to oxygenate all those cells. It's really, really important. Thank you.
Thank you.